All right, you're asking for it, so here it is. Listen to this.
I want you folks laughing at we partners pod, kid. You understand? We in here drinking, singing, swinging, all that shit, dog. We sweating, getting wet, and all that.
Welcome to the 90th episode of the Drinking Partners Podcast. Yes, this is our Indomitian Sue episode, which I probably butchered his first name. It's something like that.
Yeah.
Sue. Into the Sue episode, because we're immensely talented, but we always find ourselves doing something that gets us fined by the league, or something that we put our foot in our mouths, as they would say. So, but you're not gonna stop listening to us because we're so fucking talented, and that's basically what Sue is to the NFL. He's like the talented asshole.
Exactly.
Like, he might not be on the Super Bowl team, but he's always going to be on the team. Like, you're never not gonna sign that guy.
Truth.
Nailed it. I nailed that one. That's good. 2 in a row. Yes. I am half of your hosting tandem, Ed Bailey. I'm joined, as always, with my co-host, Dave Bracey. Say what up to the people.
What's good with you people? We are Drinking Partners. If you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, and Google Play under Drinking Partners.
We're Googleable.
Mm-hmm. What is we at? 90? 90 episodes, B. We've been saying the same thing. We're going to keep saying it, man. Rate and review. On iTunes, rate and review. I mean, that's how we let others know that we're doing well. That's how we know what we're doing well, and that's how we continue to do well. So please, rate and review.
Listen, you love us. You tell us in person that you love us. Just put it on the internet. That's all we ask. Just take a couple seconds out of your day and write, "You guys are the fucking best thing that ever happened to the world." That's pretty cool, right?
That's not bad. I wouldn't mind that review.
Yeah, I would definitely crop that, make it an Instagram post.
Yeah,
That's
make it a header or something.
Make it a header, pause. Well, if you do love us, we have tons of shit coming up, man. We got a lot of events coming up.
Yeah.
It's about to be a busy ass 2 weeks.
Yeah, we've been recording every week, and then we got shows live. We got the 22nd. We got Aggravated Assault down at Apis.
At Apis, shout out to Dave Sir Marinara.
Yeah, Dave out there. His Apis Meadery would be out there. Dom Shuck, be a part of that or whatever. Bunch of comics tearing each other apart on stage. So come down for that.
I was on the first one. It's a fun time.
Yeah,
you get to boo people.
Nice.
You're encouraged to boo people.
Encouraged to heckle, man. That's awesome.
And then we heckle you.
Yeah, you don't dish it if you can't take it, baby. Don't hop in the ring. Expect it to be a one-sided affair.
All I'm saying is when it rains, niggas get wet. Then we got the 23rd. We're doing Alex DePula's album release, Dolphins Are Garbage, down at Row House.
Row House Cinema down in Lawrenceville on Butler Street. So, come through for that. I mean, that should be a lot of fun.
Support, man. If you can't make it out, get the album. It's going to be dope.
Yeah. And
Alex
then
is dope.
24th, we got Goodfellas. Good vibes at Goodfellas. We've got a few comics coming up. We got some music, and they've got some $5 Long Island. So that should be a nice night, man. And it's a free show.
It's a free show.
You don't get many of those. So, take advantage of that, man.
Free, man. You just if you want, you've always listened to us and you want to hear us on stage, come on. It's free.
True.
And it's a new venue. Help us out. We're trying to get it started up. Get it popping down there in Swissvale. Got the Goodfellas. Shout out to them.
True.
Shout out to the freeness of the show.
Yeah. You're gonna get top quality for free, like
basically.
So shout out to them.
28th we have
City Theater.
Hand to God.
Yeah, we got a play that's there's gonna be a play. It's a comedic play. It's a puppet. And this is crazy, right? So
we're expanding.
Yeah, it's a puppet. Like it's an actual show with people, but it revolves around like this puppet that is given to this kid, and like it grows to be like this evil thing or whatever. And what's crazy about the puppet, there's 5 different puppets, and each of those puppets are crafted to mirror the 5 stages of Gary Busey.
Wow.
So it's
there's a lot more thought into it than you originally thought when we said it was a puppet show, right?
True.
I thought it was just gonna be some Sesame Street bullshit. Nah. It's like Schoolhouse Rock, Conjunction Junction, but it's
true. It's mad raunchy. So come through, watch the play, and then afterwards we got an after party sponsored by Wiggle. And
wiggle whiskey.
We're gonna interview cast and crew afterwards. So it should be a good night. I mean, that's September 28th, City Theater.
And the 29th we'll be in Homestead at Dorothy 6. Just slanging jokes.
Yeah.
Homestead, it's 8th Avenue. Look up the number, across the street from Studio AM. Shout out to everybody in Homestead.
True.
It's all love.
I mean, and then the 100th episode, man, Hundo.
The coup de grace.
The Hundo, November 12th, Pittsburgh Playwrights Theater, man. We've got Apis Meadery, Rock Bottom, Shoe Brew,
Full Pint,
Bloom Brew, McLaughlin Distillery. That's an hour and a half tasting, right? And then afterwards, during the tasting, we'll have Dom Shuck, spinning on the ones and twos. And then after that, we'll have T.R.U.B giving a half hour.
Shout out to the big homie Rob.
You know what I mean? And then we'll have a hour-long podcast with Rick Seaback,
John Fetterman,
and Baron Batch. So
come out, support.
It's going to be a nice time, man. Tickets before 29th. Before October 29th, you can get tickets for all of that for $15. All right? After the 29th, it goes up to 20, and if you show up at the door, it's 25. So, get your tickets early. It will sell out. And if you're looking for tickets, it's at purplepass.com/partnerspod 100.
$15 to celebrate the city while being given free beer, free alcohol, and bringing your own.
And it's BYOB.
Yes. You can't ask for more.
Yeah, in case you don't like mead or vodka or bourbon or great craft brew, you can still be made it.
I don't know what else is there to drink.
Moscato.
For all you Moscato fans, this ain't your night. I guess you could bring Moscato. Maybe we should institute a no Moscato.
Hey, I ain't mad at you.
All right, bring your little Moscato.
Just in case.
Nah, man, come out, man. We're definitely, if you've been listening, we appreciate your support. We'd love to see you there to celebrate the 100th episode. We had an interesting time yesterday. We ran into a fan of the cast, which is dope.
Yeah.
And he actually introduced himself as, I haven't rated and reviewed, but I did buy y'all a shot of Hennessy. So, in lieu of rates and reviews, shots of Hennessy's are always welcome.
That might be a thing. Rate a review or shots of Henny.
Shots of Henny.
We appreciate that.
Shout out to
Creatives
Drink for having the Voyage yacht party. That shit was dope.
Yeah, that was.
That was extra dope. Down on the river, just going back and forth, drinking, dancing to trap music. Yeah. I found a perfect spot in the back of the yacht. I was sitting in like this pseudo window, but I was scared to death because
you was like
heavily
sitting right
libated
on the back of the boat. Like if you would have tipped over, it'd have been curtains.
Yo, they'd have played one more Future song. It's been a commemorative episode.
True. So shout out to Creatives Drink, man.
I appreciate that. Look out for them, man. They throw some good networking parties.
And it was a great network event, man. A lot of creative people, a lot of people doing, it was a nice millennial crowd that's out trying to do something other than the 9 to 5. I mean, so, if you're a creative, if you're looking for creatives to hire, that's those events are the place to be, man.
Yeah, you got to get out. And in Pittsburgh, like we were saying on the last episode with them, with Creatives Drink on 88.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's it's a burgeoning scene, man. You got to get out, just hit these events. They got all these pop-ups, all these random shows, all these random events going on. Get out there and meet some people, man.
True.
Everybody's out here trying to do it themselves now.
Yeah.
So I respect that out here.
And also, I want to shout out grown-up human comic people, man. I went down there and casted with them down on the south side at the comic book shop, man. It was a super dope experience.
Grown-up human comic people. Yeah. Shout out to them.
True, man. I got to geek out with them, and it's crazy because they review various comics or whatever, and the topics, they start out with a comic base, but then we were talking about Batman, and then somehow the conversation got into beating up people on the South Side
because Batman's every Batman comic book was essentially a South Side fight.
True.
That's all it was. Sometimes it took place on the roof. Yeah. Sometimes it took place in a bank vault. But essentially, he was a little
bit more choreography.
Yeah, that's all he was doing was beating people up with
choreographed Southside brawls.
That's why Batman has withstood the test of time. He beats people up hand to hand. He don't have to deal with new technology. He had all the technology back in the day. He had a fucking belt that was basically an iPad. This fucking belt could do everything. And then he was like, well, I'm never going to upgrade for that. But these hands, you don't want to catch these hands, man.
These hands are infinite. They will never go out of style. Let
me tell you how good this nigga's hands is. They made a movie about him versus Superman where he obviously should have lost, but somehow he was in it because of them hands.
Them hands, man. There's no beta version. There's no 2.0. There's no need for an upgrade. They are secure, man.
You never have to worry about being bullied.
True.
When you got them hands.
So shout out to them, man.
No, yeah, that's dope, man. I'm looking forward to hearing that hear you geek out a little bit.
Yeah, and we're actually on Epicast now, so, shout out to the family.
To the family, as always. So listen, we are back to the brew this episode.
Yeah.
We've been with the creatives on the artsy side a lot, but we're back to the brew. We got a former president of T.R.U.B here, Bill Oates, going to sit here and bless us with a new brew.
Yeah, a little home batch, a little something. We'll let him talk about it.
And let you MFers know how it is to be a home brewer, how you create your own turn up. So, like I said, we got Bill Oates in the building. Say what up to the people.
What's up, everyone? How you doing?
All right. That's
Yeah,
not like the spunk.
yeah.
He wasn't on the yacht last night. He's not feeling the after effects.
I'm feeling something.
Yeah, you down at Oktoberfest.
I was. Penn Brewery last night,
okay,
yeah. Annual tradition.
Yeah, you're Gucci.
That was the Oktoberfest was the first time. Well, I think it might have been the first festival that I've gone to or whatever, any kind of big celebration. It was also the first time I saw babies around beer, and it would freak me the fuck. I mean, this was years ago. Now, any brewer they got dogs and babies.
Yeah.
They're people love to bring animals that don't drink to breweries.
It's just a reason to get those things out. Because when you have a dog, you have a baby, your essential goal in life is to do what you love and have them out of the house or something.
I want to drink and do whatever I can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they create these breweries and these fests, and listen, we encourage children. They're going to watch you behave like a child. This. They're going to appreciate this. Now, we were having a conversation last night about beer, and I guess going on about how it's always appropriate. There's always, you can always fit beer in. You can drink beer at any time. You can drink it after you cut the grass. You can drink it after you get home from class. You could drink it while you're studying. You could drink.
There's levels to it. You got session ales and
with how many varieties are out there now, you can fit it into like you were saying, wherever. You get lawnmower beers, you got your imperial stouts. You can really just mix it in wherever. That's what's cool. Being a home brewer, you can mix and make. You can make exactly what you want. You can make something you've never had before. You can try to mimic something you've had before. So it leaves you a lot of creative. You can get your juices flowing that way.
Is this your only creative outlet, or were you an artist of any sort prior to?
I play music.
Okay.
So I did that for years. I enjoy making things in general. So
making shit.
Yeah.
Why not live a life where you made everything around you? That would be dope. The music I listen to, I made it. The beer I'm drinking while I'm listening to this music, I made it.
That's that Amish lifestyle.
That's all right.
We're not going to get back on that. See how he tries to take me into former rants that I've had that have gotten me in trouble?
Just push you off the edge a little bit.
Yeah, we're not going to bring the Amish to this. This is a totally different thing.
It's okay to rant about the Amish. They're terrible.
I'm not going to rant about that.
They're terrible people. They make great things.
They're not, listen, brewers let you bring your children to breweries and they have a good time. They have games for them. Amish people, when you bring your children to their country, there's nothing.
No, their children are at work.
They're punching a time card.
You take your kid there for some scared straight shit. You churning butter, motherfucker. Instead, you got a PS4. You don't appreciate it. So, take us into your journey into home brewing. How long have you been doing it? When did you become really serious about it?
I've been doing it for probably about 12 years now.
Okay.
I started, and I tell people this story all the time. I won one of those make your own beer in a box kits. It was in a white elephant gift exchange.
Yeah.
I did it, and I was like, hey, I'll try that. It was terrible, but I was like, I like it, but it's just I want it to be better than this.
Yeah.
So, 12 years later, been tweaking the process, putting equipment, buying all that stuff. So, now I make 10-gallon batches of beer probably monthly, depending on what time of year it is. I stockpile some stuff for the winter, but. So I'm cranking out a lot of beer,
Nice.
Trying to stay below the yearly legal. They tell you 100 gallons a year is what you're supposed to be able to legally make as a home brewer, but
really,
we all kind of there is actually a federal law that says that. But
how would they even regulate that? Because beer, you make it and then it's gone.
It's going, unless you stockpile.
There was beer in that jug. I know it.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, really, unless you try to sell it, you're probably pretty safe making as much as you want. Yeah. So.
Hurry up, drink the evidence.
I can't. It'd be like the open to see the straight out of Compton. They be pouring beer down the toilet. Flush that shit. You know what to do with it.
God forbid we ever have to do that.
No, I wouldn't wish that on you.
I just imagine like the scene off New Jack City with like naked bitches with titties out, chopping up hops and shit. Like
Type of operation you got going on, Bill.
they just bust in.
It always be the dude with the unassuming name too, the Bill Oates. Be all confident that he's a stand-up dude. You go to those mad Spanish bitches chopping up hops and only aprons. You walk to the room, smack one on the ass.
That's a pretty accurate description. I'll stick with that. Yeah.
Bill getting swagged up on Partner Spot. They're like, you about to get way more Instagram followers. You about to become so popular in this world. So what was this? So 12 years ago, I guess you're one of the pioneers of the scene here, I would assume.
Yeah, I was
nothing like it is now.
Yeah, I mean, homebrewing especially then was just kind of just starting. Breweries even then, I think at that time, I mean, Penn obviously was going, but I think East End had just opened up when I started homebrewing, and that was it. I mean, so I was down there, weekly getting growlers and just trying to pick Scott's brain just about brewing beer.
Yeah,
and
I remember he was like one of the only cats in the game. Like,
oh yeah, forever. And then and eventually it caught up. So, but yeah. So and I've been in the club T.R.U.B for about 10 years now.
How long have they been established?
About 12 years. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so all right.
So I mean that time frame has been. You see what's there now. Probably 15 breweries in the city, and there's probably our club's quadrupled in membership since then. I think we were 12 members at first, and now we're up to like over 40.
Wow.
Oh,
Is Marta a part of T.R.U.B, or is there another underground?
There's Trash is the other.
Trash.
Yeah, so
Okay,
and there's nowadays
Is
there's
there
so
like
much cross collaboration.
How about this? Like, is there an East Coast, West Coast beef? Like,
I think there was once upon a time. Yeah, I don't know.
Be on the cover of Craft magazine. Be Bill and Marta.
yeah.
Bill got on the Coogee sweater.
Just brewing beers back and forth to battle each other.
I think I first came in contact with you guys at an event Marta was at down at what's the it was down on the strip.
Bayardstown, I think.
Bayardstown, yeah, that was a super cool fucking event. You guys had like a double IPA, like a double black IPA or some shit.
I think that's one of our members, Jeff Paul. He made this black IPA that's just legendary now.
Yeah, that was phenomenal.
Yeah, no, it's it's got that beer alone. It's just gotten us a lot of recognition, like from that event in particular. But yeah, it was a good time.
So what's I'll ask a weird question. So what is the, I don't want to say mission statement, but the purpose of, let's say, a brew collaboratory like group? What is it, just to bounce ideas? Like if you make a special brew, does the team get credit for it? Like is it like Bad Boy Records where like, yo, Big went platinum, so now we all get to go party?
Get your name in the liner notes in the album. No, we're all basically just individual guys doing our own thing. The club aspect of it is we can group purchase some ingredients. You get cut the cost that way. Okay. But a lot of it's monthly we meet up and we discuss beers. We just had our club picnic yesterday, so everyone brings a growler, whatever they have on tap, and we swap back and forth. If you're looking for advice on how to make something better, tons of minds to pop it out. Pop a question too.
Keep each other libated.
Oh, yeah, definitely do that. Yeah,
you will never go without. That should be T.R.U.B. You can get T-shirts. T.R.U.B. You will never go without.
We're stealing that, just so you know.
Sure. Yeah. So you guys just brewed a beer. You guys brought to the cast.
I have a couple of my homebrews here, but one in particular was one that an idea I bounced off you guys. I just said, give me a type of beer you would like to see, and I'll see if I can make it. So you guys,
we just threw out like some random, like, hey, how about cognac?
There's nothing random about that.
Not knowing how
you knew exactly what I was gonna say. I was going to yak. Like I had no other ingredient, like yak.
I didn't know how it'd be done. I was like, is that a thing? You're like, yeah, that sounds like, yeah, we'll do that. So like, I'm
very confident when he responded.
Yeah, true. It wasn't even like
no, I got you. Yeah, no, cool.
No, that's what I enjoy about homebrewing is just, you come up with an idea and you can find a way to make it happen. So, so the cognac idea, I'm not a cognac drinker.
You should be.
So I might be now. Now that I had to like drink several shots, but just to get an idea of the flavor.
Yeah.
So yeah, we
Did some research.
yeah, did some I was on the Wikipedia page for Cognac. I mean, it was probably trending for that week, and I was trying to brew that beer. But
And R&D, your R&D is probably the best on earth, though, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
taking shots, like, all right, I like this yak, not this one.
Yeah. So do you guys have a preferred Cognac?
Hennessy.
Hennessy. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I like Hennessy. I'm not gonna, but like there are others, out there.
There is no other.
There can
There's
be only one.
Cavassiers and whatnot,
Yeah,
Remy's.
but they're not Hennessy.
And,
Okay.
yeah.
Hennessy is like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just my favorite thing to drink.
Nothing wrong with that.
But it bites you in the ass sometimes, too. I ain't go front. Like Hennessy, I was asleep at a red light last night. Like that type of shit.
Yeah.
Like Hennessy will do that to you.
Sneaks up on you. Huh?
You drop somebody off and just be sleeping in front of your yard.
This is my house too, right?
They be like, you all right, man? Yeah, man. I can't go another block. I need to take a rest.
True.
So let's get into some of the
let's get into
brews
some of
here
these
because we've
brews
been
this
dry this episode.
Yeah. So let
Yes.
me pop one on here. 1 second.
Brewers always have coolers, and let me tell you something. There's no cooler friend than a person with a cooler. Like
Yeah.
if your friend shows up with a cooler,
You know something cool in it.
yeah, they're automatically better than everyone else who showed up. Motherfuckers showing up with bread and nachos. Fuck that. Where's your cooler, fam?
Yeah.
Coolers generally mean drinks or possibly sandwiches.
And that's what I was about to say. Like, even if you got like wrapped sandwiches in there was some forethought to your appearance here. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't just stop at the little spot. You came through prepared with some tasty things.
Alrighty. So we're gonna start here with this is an American wheat beer that I did with New Zealand Kohatu hops.
Kohatu hops. Now, see, usually those motherfuckers coming out of New Zealand are like kind of citrusy or whatever. Is this another?
I didn't
This
know. Go ahead.
the descriptor on this hop, which actually was what made me buy it, was that it tastes like Fruity Pebbles. So
Okay.
That's encouraging.
yeah. So
Wait, say that again. Kuhalu?
Kohatu. is-
Kohatu.
Yeah, so it's
sound
in-
like a Hawaiian king.
Yeah, you get that. Tutankhamun.
Kawatu.
I didn't know where you were about to go with it. We said usually coming out of New Zealand, I'm like, oh, this shit about to she's about to get mad racist. I didn't know where you were going with that. I'm glad you went the route you
It
went.
can't be racist because of the 14th Amendment. That's all we keep that in mind. We wanted 40 acres and a mule. What we got was the ability to say whatever the fuck we wanted. That's the trade-off.
All right, so Kohatu hops. You wanna,
They are, pass it around. So
you bottle your own.
I have a draft system set up in my house, but I just kind of zipped these bottles off before I made my way over here. So
Let's see what that's like.
and this one, it's dry hopped with the Kohatu, so you're gonna get some of that grassiness, but I think the fruit comes out in the finish.
It does. The fruit comes out in the finish. Pause. But it is true.
But it's,
like it.
It's
What's the alcohol content?
about 5%.
Okay.
So it's really traditional American like summer wheat beer.
Yeah,
And, the hops are kind of the only
that's refreshing. Yeah,
I was gonna say this is after you cut the grass.
Yeah,
you drink a Kohatu hop.
Yeah.
I need to write this down. Kohatus are for post physical activity in the summertime.
So I don't know if you guys pick up the Fruity Pebbles at all. I get it a little bit, not as much as I thought I was going to, based on what I'd read about it. But
I don't know if I want like full on Fruity Pebble. I could taste the fruit.
Yeah.
That might be a little bit weird.
A little
like
overwhelming,
a full
yeah.
Fruity Pebble afterwards. I like Fruity Pebbles, but they get soggy quick, man. You gotta eat Fruity Pebbles.
You gotta eat
in
them quick. But
12 seconds.
you're able to eat them quick because it's not like Captain Crunch and it's breaking up your mouth or whatever.
Yeah.
You can actually get through them pretty quickly. I actually ate Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles just for about every meal for like a month back in college. Like because like you look on the side of the box, like it's got so many like vitamins and nutrition and shit. It's like
I don't know if you're gonna sell us on that day,
Man,
but
it was-
I fucks with it.
man, with the milk and I was
Fruity
was
Pebbles is basically fish food.
Yeah,
That's basically what it is. Now, which was your breakfast and which was your dinner? Fruity or I'd say fruity would be breakfast.
It was whatever.
Cocoa's
was
more
It's got
hearty.
that vibrant morning
Yeah.
feel to it.
Yeah.
Cocoa's a little more hearty.
It's like a stew. Like a stew.
Like it's a warm meal because it's cocoa.
Get heated up a little. Maybe throw some warm
When you
in
brought chicks over, it was a movie and cocoa.
It was a movie and beer.
Oh, you had beer.
Yeah, well,
Just
yeah. I mean,
no
that's,
food.
That's,
That's a very
I had
collegiate.
yeah, it was college. It was the fridge was
Super collegiate.
The fridge was full. It just wasn't full of food.
Yeah,
right?
eat on your way over. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
I got mad dairy and cocoa. I got sugar, dairy. I got fucking, it kind of looks like meat, but not so much yet. That's really good, actually.
Oh, thanks, man.
So now when you homebrew, do you guys ever like sell, or do you sell to?
We like we're actually
bars or
legally not allowed to do any selling because we're not licensed as a brewery per se. But so predominantly, if you're seeing our stuff, you either know us or we're at a beer festival. We do tons of beer festivals all throughout the year.
nice.
I know one point in time after the Bayardstown, we had done that event with you guys. I did that downtown at the comedy night.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
where,
yeah. You saw the Epic Night of Comedy down
Yeah,
at Bricolage
yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came through with a even larger cooler with a bunch of pipes and
Anytime
like the whole
somebody
tap.
come through with a cooler, fam.
Yeah.
You got a cooler, you're the coolest at the motherfucking party.
So you guys got Brewing Up a Cure coming up?
Yeah, that's our charity event. We've been doing that. This is now our 10th year. This will be the 10th year anniversary event. So we're one of the longest running beer events in Pittsburgh. I think only the Big Pour is about the same time frame we've been going. But yeah, it's an awesome event. It benefits cystic fibrosis. We have one of our club members, his daughter has cystic fibrosis. So that's kind of how the charity idea of it got started. Really, we just wanted to put on a beer fest. So it was like, can we make a homebrew beer fest? Like, well, if we're going to do it, let's do it for a charity.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we picked that one. It's been great. And so now we'll probably have 20 homebrewers there serving their beers. You know,
Nice.
I'll be pouring 6 beers that night. You know, everyone just goes all out. You know,
Yeah.
we get local microbreweries, food. It's decked out. It's a
Yeah.
nice time.
So where is that at?
It'll be downtown at the PPG Winter Garden. It's right in the the big glass room there.
Yeah. I
It's-
don't think I've been down there.
Yeah,
Nah,
it's
I've not been there.
It's a cool room. I mean, visually, it's amazing. I mean, the sound's it's a big open like greenhouse basically. So
Yeah.
the sound's not the greatest, but for a beer event, I think it works pretty well.
Yeah,
so.
good brew, good food, open space,
Yeah.
limitless possibilities.
That's right.
There's
Yeah.
another T-shirt. I'm about to change my career path. I'm just going to start selling T-shirt slogans.
Inspirational quotes. Is.
I don't know what I don't want to call it inspirational. Most of them will be centered around drinking.
It's crazy how like they sell those T-shirts and they just be like corny as like if you're reading this, I don't care. And like then you're like people.
I'm
like,
with her.
Yeah. Like you've given up on all like sex or fucking like efforts.
You chose T-shirt over every other aspect of life.
Yeah, like you are not. Nobody wants to invite you anywhere. Like, you wear those shirts. Like
Don't invite the T-shirt, dude.
Tell them how you feel, Day.
Yeah.
Do you feel about graphic tees how I feel about sandals? Is that what
yes,
okay.
yeah, a
man.
terrible graphic tee is like I just don't want to be around.
What
you.
about a graphic tee sandal collaboration?
Oh man, that's rough.
We saw a
might
dude
send you
last
hate
night
mail.
that pissed me off so bad. He had on baggy jeans and open toe sandals. And it fucked with me. It fucked with me for so long. I was literally fixated on his toes. Like, why are you walking on your jeans? His jeans were so long and baggy. They tucked between his foot and the sandal.
Were the jeans like ripping underneath the heel of the shoe?
It was like
that's
a
what
half
that's what happened.
sock with his toe out. It was
I mean, to be
weird as hell.
fair, I didn't really know what the proper attire was for a boat party.
Nope,
I was
couldn't figure it out.
No, should I wear boat shoes? Is
It was
this
a real
short
conversation
type
we
of-
all had with ourselves.
Yeah,
Like,
like-
what do you wear? What do we?
Is it gonna be wet? Like I ain't gonna lie. You can tell I ain't never been on shit. Like I ain't.
If it's wet, I think it's a problem.
Yeah, trunks. I don't know if I had the proper idea of what a yacht actually was.
Yeah.
I just watched Wolf of Wall Street. I was like,
Oh,
we
okay.
on one of those. We on one of those. I'm gonna bring trunks. Like, it was pretty dope. But I know there's no situation where long baggy jeans and open toe flops.
That was a bad call.
That's always a
So
negative.
that's not yacht attire.
There's
I'll remember that.
There's not one situation where I don't know. Do you wear baggy jeans and flops before I go any further?
I don't.
Okay, good.
I've worn baggy jeans at a period in my life, but not with sandals. It's just
Good,
been-
man.
yeah,
You're a stand-up guy.
I try that. Yeah.
You really are, man. No graphic tees or flip-flops around day and how.
True.
We got to put that on the flyers for the events.
Yeah. I don't know what would we put on there.
I don't know. I'll think of it. Though.
Terrible tee, terrible sandals, no service.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nah, you think of something better.
We'll work on it.
What's the first brew you've ever first beer you've brewed?
When I started homebrewing?
Yeah, when you started homebrewing, what was your first, like, was it just a basic, like you went for an IPA or something like that, or did you try to throw some flavor in it?
The very first beer I did, I tried to clone Erie Railbender Ale. I don't know if you ever had that. So it's just strong ale.
Those are high hopes.
Yeah.
That's like, you know, just start with Railbender.
Yeah. So you aim big and you miss,
and then you
but
go,
so it was nothing like Erie Railbender, but it was a beer and it was alcoholic.
You were ambitious. So that's
and that's what I mean.
Shoot for the shoot for the stars. You land on the moon.
I guess you'd have been mad if you said I tried to clone Miller Lite though.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I tried to make some Miller Lite at the crib. Like, why?
They sell in a 30-pack. Why?
That is a waste of so many hours.
I started with the Railbender clone. It was drinkable enough to, inspire me to say, hey, I could probably do this better. So, I moved on to doing American Pale Ales from there, and then IPAs were kind of the logical progression at that point. I think every beer drinker sort of builds up to the IPAs. And but now I do a lot of, I don't want to say experimental stuff, but I like experimenting with different ingredients. I do a pumpkin beer in the fall. It's a pumpkin porter, so it's a dark pumpkin beer with spices. I do like a lot of English ales. I really like low gravity English session ales. Just stuff I like to drink mostly. But
so like, what are some of the, as a home brewer, like, is there like a progression of like ales that you go through that like are some harder than others, where like you maybe start off with I don't know, what do you, because you started off with a pretty, fantastic ale, but like you go ales, IPAs to porters to stouts, or
I think everyone for the most part starts off doing ales because they're easier to do. You ferment them warmer, they're finished quicker, and then some guys will just stick with that, and then you can really branch out, like doing lagers, doing cold fermented long fermentations. You get that going. Then you'll branch out. Some guys get into the sour beers, the wild beers. That's where it normally seems to lead to, the progression, just more difficult beers, stuff that you can't readily get. A lot of wood aged beers, those are very popular with home brewers.
The barrel aged and the sours are like all the rave.
Yeah, sours are just they blew up recently, and I don't know.
A lot of flavor though.
It's all over the map. I mean, that's what the cool thing with sour beer is. There's so many different varieties of sour. There's just tart, there's real funky. So
now, do you, as a home brewer, do you guys generally have like a brew that you brew consistently, like a flagship, like that's something that you're known for, or are you just constantly changing the menu?
I mean, we have some guys that have styles or particular recipes they'll do every year. Like for our Brewing Up Here event, we have guys that bring some of the same beers every year just because it's something they know how to do well.
Right.
They enjoy it. Myself, I try to do something different every year. I have a few beers that I'll do to keep on tap of the house, but I like to just keep experimenting, tweak the process.
What was one of the craziest beers you brewed?
Craziest beers. Trying to think. This Cognac one is it's a pretty interesting one. I've done some. I'm trying to think what some weird ingredients I've done. I did a mango imperial wit beer one time.
Mango beers are good.
Mango imperial wit, man.
Just mango in general is delicious.
They had a mango at Rock Bottom that was fucking dope.
Oh yeah.
Good as hell.
So I do a lot of. I have a beer for this year's event. I'm calling it the Samoan Stout, and I'm modeling after the Girl Scout cookie. So it's a milk stout with coconut and chocolate and some little toasted malt added in there.
So how does that process? How do you do that? Like, because it's weird because you can mimic flavors with a lot of different shit, like different processes or whatever, which I find like mind blowing. Like you could taste toffee, but there's no actual toffee in this bitch. You know what I mean? Like, citrusy and there's no actual, so like, with something like that, a coconut, holding like, are you throwing that in there? Are you putting it in afterward? Like what is that process like?
So with that beer, to get like the cookie, toasty, biscuity part of it, there's a malt called biscuit malt, and it lends that sort of flavor. So I use that in the grain bill. The chocolate in coconut are going to go in after it's fermented. I'll put it in the keg and let it condition on that for about a week. So you're getting that from there. But then a lot of the dark malts will give you those burnt coffee flavors, just naturally. You don't really have to add it in a lot of times. But I sort of want an exaggerated coffee to pop out of the glass at you. So for that beer, just it's kind of a novelty. But might be a little over the top. But for a beer fest, it works well. So.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Like, go hard, go home.
Do you get requests? Like,
actually,
people say,
I think you're talking about weird beers. Last year I did a beer. It was a dill pickle beer for
dill pickle, like
it
a
was
pickleback.
it was a Gosa. I don't know if you ever had a Gosa, which is it's like a German sour wheat beer, but it's brewed with salt and coriander. So I just took that and added some dill to it and some pickling spices, and it actually turned out interesting. Like people wanted it, but I wouldn't drink it every day. But it's sort of a
people do the pickles with the beer. They do couple those things. So I guess I don't know if I would order a pickled beer, but
Yeah.
different flavors.
Yeah,
Different
I mean,
folks?
I might order it like on a
You try
flight.
it.
Yeah, you
Like,
try.
I'll
yeah,
take a
yeah.
flight, but I won't like drink a whole ass.
Yeah,
pickle beer.
12 ounces of that shit.
That's
Yeah, I mean, you can just drink pickle juice at that point, I guess.
yeah, I'm cool.
Did you give him all of that? You didn't give it. He gave him everything. Here you go, fam. Nah, I'm good.
Something order like, give me the pickle. Like, that's a tough order. Like, pause.
Yo, I just heard what you said. You wilding over there. You're wilding over there.
Oh man. So let's get into this cognac that you
Want to go straight to the cognac, or do you want? I got a couple others.
you got a
couple more. Oh well, then let's.
I was going to finish with the cognac, so yeah.
I'll let you. I'll let you.
I
do your
always
thing.
finish with the cognac. Pause.
Progression happen.
So this next one we're going to drink here is it's a pale ale, but it's done in what they're calling the New England style pale ales or IPAs, which is all the rage now, like the hazy sort of big mouthfeel beers.
Is that like the cloudy? Is that I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that's
New England style.
they're calling it New England style now because it kind of originated with some beers that got really popular up from that area.
Yeah.
But I mean, you see a lot of breweries that are making them now. I know in the city here, Brew Gentleman's sort of known for their cloudy, big hoppy IPAs. The I guess if you want to say like the reason it's different than a regular IPA is that it's real low bitterness, but a lot of hops. It's just probably twice the amount of hops I would normally use. But it's just a very low bittering hop, so you get just all the flavor, none of the bitterness, and that mouthfeel helps to really give take some of that bitterness and that harsh finish out of it. So
Wow.
we'll pass this around here.
Excited.
And so
Big mouth.
this one's done with it's Amarillo, Mosaic, and Columbus hops.
Fucking. So how do you learn about the hops? Like, is there a manual? Is there a pamphlet? Where do you learn? Or I guess you guys being in the underground brewing, you guys are like, yo, did somebody like bring a new hop? Like, yo, fam, I just got this New Zealand hop, fam. Yo, and they just bring like a bag of hops.
Yo, still smell that shit, B.
There is a lot of that stuff. Every year, like the hop harvesters are bringing out new hops, and so
This smells amazing. I haven't tasted it.
So I mean, a lot of times, you don't know what they'll give you a vague idea of what it might taste like based on what it smells like. But really, I've found that you kind of have to brew with it to really know how it's going to affect your beers. So it's just a lot of experimentation.
Like with brewing, like I think of it like chefs or whatever. I think of brewers like chefs in a sense, but chefs get to at least like taste throughout the process. Like with brewers, you're really like it's a feel and kind of a visual thing with a hope for an outcome. Like you don't even really get any response.
Yeah.
Like what things do you look for during the process that allow you to know that things are progressing as you would like? Because
That's a
even
good question.
like, you know what I mean? If you think about it, because like it could look like shit's going swell, but then the beer could just come out tasting
how
like
you know
it's
you're gonna have some skunk old bullshit?
especially when you go for like really like specific flavors. Like I'm trying to mimic the Samoan, and you don't know what that shit looks like.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of time. It's just kind of guesswork. Hope I've brewed enough. I sort of know my process So I'm like, oh, if I did something really terrible, if I can sort of ward it off and just start again.
Okay.
But really, I mean, you just kind of have to hope for the best, keep everything clean, sanitation. Everyone says that's the biggest thing. But
Yeah, sanitation.
if you keep it clean, it generally will end up pretty good. You know?
So do you ever throw beer out?
I have on occasion, yeah. It burns, but I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. I'd rather dump it than drink something I don't like, you know.
Yeah.
I guess
Choke it
12
down.
years of home brewing. See, he's home brewing though, so
Yeah.
you could do that like a regular guy. Now, I can't throw any brew out. Like if I buy bad brew, then that's just for people who come over at that.
Yeah. Well, but really, yeah. I want to co-sign, but
It's
I
the
co-sign.
truth.
Yeah,
Like, I'll just get something else, and then like day comes over, and I'm
Oh, I get some beer.
like, yo, I got this pickle thing.
True. And, like, to be honest, like even in that situation, if I come to your crib, if it's free, like I really don't complain. Like I'm gonna get it down.
Well, you
know?
can't not drink it if you take it. Like
Yeah, true.
you gotta finish it. So
Yeah, I mean, that's
I'm making sure it gets finished.
What are some of the like beers that you had to throw out? What happened with those? What happened within that process?
most of the ones that end up getting thrown out are just they got infected somewhere along the lines. You know, you had a keg that might not have gotten cleaned all the way, and then 2 weeks down the road, it's just starting to turn sour a little bit. And I mean, it's just
infected.
it happens. It sounds bad, but I mean,
Yeah, I mean, you're dealing with live organisms.
Yeah.
It's a very like you're yeast and bacteria and shit.
And it's
like,
I mean, it's tough to ward off, but I mean, a lot of them, if you can see when they're starting to turn bad, so you either just drink them more while they're still good, or you know, take them to a beer fest and pour it out there.
Yeah, 5 alarm. Like we gotta drink. We gotta drink. Sit down.
Put it on special.
Call Bill, Ted. Come over. It's a poker night. We're going ham.
That's why you have T.R.U.B, because you could just send out like the T.R.U.B signal, like we got a batch about to go bad. Calling all hands, calling all throats.
Yeah. And that's what's funny. We'll have meetings where guys will purposely bring beer that went bad just to try to figure out, like, hey, what happened to this beer? Does anyone
so
know?
you got like Clue. You play Clue with.
Oh, it's I mean,
you over and play Clue.
the big magnifying glass.
It was the bacteria in the pipe, like
Colonel Mustard.
I want to come to one of these meetings. I just want to be at the meeting. Like, let me see. No, let me taste. You know where I think you went wrong? Your New Zealand got infected with that Zika.
Definitely Zika in this
Zika
bitch.
beer,
Definitely has a Zika finish.
4 weeks later, your head's shrinking, and that's how you know. Yeah.
So, like in your industry, what type of things, as a home brewer, what type of things are you paying attention to across the industry that may affect you? May affect like your, I guess, supply chain type of thing? Like what do you have to keep up on? How do you keep up with trends?
For us, a lot of it is the ingredients can be scarce. Like I know hops are every year. You don't know how much of each variety is going to be out there. So you sort of just don't know what's going to be around. But as far as across the industry, I mean, a lot of us pay attention to what sort of styles are getting popular, and then we'll start to mimic those beers. I know I knew homebrewers were doing grapefruit IPAs before everyone was making a grapefruit IPA. It's just like we usually catch on to what's going to be the next big thing, and then everyone, all the breweries start to make them. So
I'm a firm believer that the brew game is like the crack game. Okay, I feel like most of y'all are just drug dealers who want to go about it the legal way. Who is do you find like a hop connect and you like really want to hold on to him because he gets you hops for the low? I know that has to happen. Like, do y'all talk? Is this like basically what I'm trying to say is a T.R.U.B meeting like The Wire? where like dude who's in charge of T.R.U.B, the president will stand in front to talk about what we putting out this year. This where we getting our hops.
Yeah.
Price of the brick going up.
Yeah.
Like, is it like that?
I wish we were that organized. We were just
I'm sure you guys, it's okay. Like there's a negative connotation to it, but there's a level of organization
I see
that
where
is
you're going.
be,
Yeah, I mean,
like
that connect. Like, oh, what you getting yours for? Because my old boy got a 2 for $15 on these hops.
like-
well, we do. I mean, when we do our bulk ingredient purchases, purchases, that's where we try to find somebody who can source us for grains, and we're like, so he's not too far off.
Brew game like the crack game. Listen, we were at Beers of the Berg and we met a connect, and it felt good.
Yeah.
Really good. I don't even homebrew, but I was like, I felt like if my mans needed to get on, I could plug them in. Like, yo, I got this dude Spanish poppy across town.
Like, you the dude that all the dudes go to. Like, I felt like I was on Narcos. You know what I mean? Like, I was.
And dudes probably come to you, get put on. Like, yo, how do I get started? I got this little block I'm working over here on the north side. You know what I mean? I've been working it.
Got this little system set up. You know what I mean? It's a little different from what's in the game right now. But listen, you know what I mean? It's going to change some
It's
shit.
going to change everything.
What's the Blue Magic beer that came in and kind of just took over the industry and like everybody had to?
This is a American Gangster reference. I don't know if you saw the Frank White, like the Blue Magic was his drug, and he was that nigga for that. Yeah, I mean, so like, what's that?
Right now I would say it's got to be sour beers. That's like the thing that everyone's doing. It was bourbon barrel aged beers for like anything with bourbon age was probably last year's big thing. Trying to think, like the New England style IPAs are getting to be really popular. That's kind of the next trend. Trying to predict what's going to be the next one is the tough thing.
Yeah, like what do you think drives the trends most often? Availability of different hops, or
I think a lot of it is just one beer gets ranked on some list somewhere, and they say this is the best IPA in America, and then everyone wants to make a beer like that.
Yeah.
Because that's what's selling. So you get those cloudy.
How do those get like made like as a home? Because I mean you're a brewer or whatever. So like, how does that even get like when you experiment this and the other like this New England IPA at some point this didn't exist and then it did exist. How did that happen? Like, I mean, did somebody fuck up? Was it like
I think there's a lot of fuck ups that turn out well.
Yeah, how does that happen? Like, how does something like this happen?
With this beer in particular, there was a beer called Heady Topper, which I don't know if you've heard of. It's sort of like
that sounds like
it's sort of like a legendary amongst homebrewers because they only make it in Vermont and you can't get it anywhere else outside of Vermont and. That's how beers like that sort of get their lore, where it's like, oh, it's this best beer, you can't get it anywhere. Yeah. And so you see then brewers start making beers like that in different parts of the country, and then it just becomes a massive thing. So like the cloudy IPAs, you see a ton of them now. Everyone's doing them. And it's nice. It's nice because they're no filtering in it, so you're leaving a lot of the real raw hop flavor in there. Yeah.
So have they always existed? Like it just became popular eventually, or did somebody?
I would say no. It definitely was a style. Probably I don't know. 8-10 years ago, I think it started. It was really small and
so it existed. It just didn't start to pop until somebody did it well. I got you.
Has there ever been a point where you were trying to make something, it didn't come out how you expected, but it was still good, and you were like, "What did I do?" And you couldn't recreate it because that wasn't your intention to begin with.
I would say I've definitely done that where you maybe added the wrong malt or added the wrong hop in that I didn't plan on using, and it's like, oh, that turned out really good. I just don't even know what I used there. I think that happens probably more on like the unintentional sour beers. Like somebody will make a beer that wasn't that great, and it's starting to turn sour, so they just let it sit there for months, and like, oh, it's a pretty good sour now. It was a terrible beer, and it turns into a good sour beer.
Okay, that makes sense. So. Now, what was that Vermont beer? Heady Topper?
Heady Topper.
Topper.
Yeah.
I gotta look out for that. Doesn't that sound like a porn where they were like trying to, they were trying to alliterate the Harry Potter, but it said it was like
that's definitely a porn star name. Heady Topper.
Yeah. The wizardry of her head. She just comes in with just a wand and a cape and a bow tie.
From Hogwarts school.
No, that's dope, man. So, how often do you guys meet? Is it just once a month, or?
Yeah, we're once a month as a club. We meet up, and we're generally Tuesday nights. We do every occasional. We have a picnic once a year. We do Saturday meetings. And our charity event we do next month, Brewing Up Here, will be like that's our monthly meeting. We'll do that, but it's basically just once a month regularly, and then occasionally if we have like sometimes we'll do a brewery trip. Like outside of the general club meeting rules, but
so what's the initiation like Like
A lot of hazing.
Like,
We just dump all our bad beer on top of it.
how does one even? What's the application process like? Do you apply or do you get referred?
Just show up. Really, that's all. Show up with beer, preferably. That gets you in a little easier if you have some beer.
Yeah, but like, like, is there like a standard that you're like, bruh, are you serious? Like, you're not ready. You go home, come back in like 6 months, and try it again.
Like, this shit is real. This ain't for the.
we take all comers at this point, but I mean, really, it's just if you're making bad beer, hopefully you know it and you're trying to get better. So we can give you some advice,
Okay.
What's your rank when you make bad beer? Like, there's got to be some like ascension to.
Yeah, like are there like clicks with it? Like, are there like the porter crowd or there's like the stars? Like, oh, that's what I mean. Like,
They come in the room.
They come in the room and like,
come in, do like
that's that double black right there. Like, you know what I mean?
There are definitely homebrew celebrities.
Yeah.
You would be surprised. There's guys that write books. It's crazy. But it's this whole little niche hobby that unless you're homebrew, you have no idea.
Yeah,
These
that's
guys
like knitting stars, man. There's knitting stars, and like in their circle, they are the head bitch. Like they come through and they're like, oh, she double knit the motherfucking penguin.
And then you got to feel back. You go back into regular life, and you're just nobody.
Yeah.
You're someone that knits.
She's known for the double hook. Like,
yo, they got the move, right? Yo, so seriously, like I was watching Meteor Man the other day. They got like Tiny Lords and like what's like, yo, if I'm a new guy to T.R.U.B, what's my rank? Like, who am I? Am I just Ed? Like
you're just Ed. You're just Ed, the guy that makes questionable beer, I guess, at this point. Yeah.
Like, do I have to host something to like get in good with people?
No, I mean, like I said, beer always helps, man. Just show up, bring some beer, and
everybody drinking everybody's beer. You over there by yourself, like nobody's business in your booth.
They want to associate with you.
Nobody's getting samples. Like, oh, you guys, that's Stinky Tom. Like he brings the skunk.
Are there any leeches? Do you guys ever have to kick out a leech? Like somebody
like this nigga always drinking, never bringing a bottle. Like,
luckily we haven't had to cross that bridge, but I'm sure it'll happen eventually.
He show up, he ain't brewed a beer in months. You're like, yo, you still in?
Hey, yo, man, my system is down, but look, me, I'm gonna get these kegs in and it's gonna be cracking.
The dreamer? Yeah, you always got some new shit on the horizon.
Oh, I'm barrel aging all my beers. They're at least 2 years out of the way.
They never come to fruition. You always got some shit popping. You ever had to run down on somebody's crib to see if they still operating as a brew? Hey, fam, we had to audit your system to see if it still exists.
Sneak in there in the middle of the night.
You keep showing up.
Take pictures.
You keep showing up sober and without beer. Like, do you drink or make beer when you're not with us? Because I would join T.R.U.B just for like the pregame when I'm going out. I would just come to the meeting pregame and then get the fucking go to the club.
Yeah,
so y'all would kick me out.
We do have it in the bylaws that you have to be a brewer to be in the club, but we have not yet had to enforce that rule.
So what makes you a brewer? As opposed to someone who's brewed before, like how often do you have to brew? How often do you have to bring a beer to the table?
Yeah.
We do not have that specifically written down,
bylaws,
so
man.
we might need to. We need to amend this.
Yeah, you've been here 3 years, B. We ain't seen no nothing.
There's progress, nothing.
Carry around some old Polaroid of you brewing beer.
Yeah, but you remember that time though, right? You remember I had that.
I had that dude.
Yeah, you remember I came through that time, right?
You the uncle that still got like the flyest clothes from the 70s. You still the flyest 70s dresser.
I used to have it cracking around these parts, man. Pay some respect. Pay some respect to a vet. Like,
oh, that's funny.
Oh, that's crazy. We're going to change the bylaws of T.R.U.B based off this one conversation. Somebody's listening to this from T.R.U.B.
Like, you know what?
His cover's blown.
I better start brewing.
Todd, he talking to you, Todd.
True.
Your cover's blown, man. There's no Todd for real, is there? Please say no. All right. He's like 40.
He won't join now.
There could be a Todd. I should have thought of a less normal name.
Pour some Miller Lite into a growler, come through. Like, at least front, do something, man.
Pour some Miller Lite in a growler, sprinkle some chipotle pepper and lemon in that motherfucker.
It'll probably be good too.
Because I've done that.
Spice it up a little bit.
Spice it up a little bit.
So yeah, we want to move on to another beer
yeah,
here,
what's
guys.
going next?
We'll go to.
Oh damn, there's more beer.
Yeah.
We got 2 more to try here.
Yes.
Yeah. This one is going to be a. Oh, sorry, this is not the one we're opening now. We're going to open up a. This is a cream ale that was dry hopped with mosaic hops. So,
Cream ale.
So what is a
I
cream?
don't think I've
ale?
ever had a cream
Yeah,
ale.
I was
cream
gonna
ale
say.
is like Genesee cream ale. If you've ever heard of that beer, just not really generally a great beer.
Genesee?
Jenny cream ale. Yeah, you ever had it?
I've heard
No,
of
I'm just like
Genesee. I don't know
Genesee.
if I've
Oh,
ever.
yeah. It's an old school like it's just cream ale is really just lawnmower beer for the most part. But the only difference on this one is it's dry hopped with a lot of mosaic hops, so it's real fruity up front, but it's still like your average Pilsner lawnmower beer.
So so I'm from Cleveland, and in Cleveland what we do is we have a shot of alcohol and we have a beer.
Okay.
Can I do a Genesee Hennessy collabo?
Genesee's
Oh, for
usually like when you do the hand grenades, they might give you a Genesee or something like that. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like,
So-
isn't it Irish?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's green can. I know that.
Yeah, it's a green can.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I might have a new dual collaboration. I'm just call it Hennessy.
That should be it.
Genesee and Hennessy.
I think it was what's the Pittsburgh version? The Imp and Iron Imperial Whiskey in Iron City. That's the
Yeah.
Pittsburgh version of that. So
Okay, so all right. You heard it here. You catch me at all clubs with Genesee and Hennessy. Call it Genesee. I can have that with some hen.
Oh yeah,
I can have that with some
that's
hen.
fruity. That's
yeah, it's got that. I don't know. The mosaic hops are nice. They're just really big on like the tropical fruit.
yeah.
It's like Hawaiian punch almost.
Yeah,
Sort of.
like that's.
Mosaic hops I've heard of, and I can't think of which beer.
That's like the big hop now. Everyone's using mosaic.
Mosaic.
And maybe
yeah.
that's what we were talking about the one time. Like
There's
we were
there's
talking to
there's the
someone and they were-
mosaic. There's the galaxy.
Yeah, you see a lot of Galaxy
There's
now.
So Galaxy is like the what's the
like that's a
strand that's out
SoCal,
here?
right? It uses galaxy hop. Like the SoCal
It's like the
IPA.
Gorilla Glue.
Oh,
Like it's flooding the streets right now. It's
Yeah,
like
I think
Gorilla
the Galaxy
Glue
was
weed.
like a huge, like it was all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
But I think they use that in like the SoCal IPA style, like Stone,
Okay.
with their
They might do it on like the Enjoy By or one of their sort of IPAs, Stone Enjoy By. And the Galaxy's that's like an Australian hop, so it's
who uses Galaxy?
Good answer.
I'm trying to think of a
Good
particular-
answer.
I can't think of a particular beer that has it, but I know a lot of craft brewers are using it more so.
That's the only drawback to this podcast. We get a lot of good information, right?
Mm-hmm.
But 30 minutes in, we're drunk. So it's like the recall is terrible.
Yeah.
We get all
Yeah,
this
we
good
get the-
information.
yeah.
It's just good that you're recording it.
They
though, right?
can't recall it.
You
Like,
could always go back.
Yeah.
like, go find it. It's like a scavenger hunt. That's what we should do. We should start like putting out scavenger challenges.
Yeah.
and giving away
Yeah,
shit.
true.
People can
Yeah.
find stuff.
Truth. Yeah, we're gonna have to
damn.
do,
Now we're
you can
beholden
go ahead
to
and you can go ahead and spearhead that, man. 'Cause I'm-
Hey man, I have hard enough time remembering the numbers of the episodes.
You're more of the fact checker dude. You call out the numbers like a motherfucker, man.
That shit is hard to do. That's only because the podcast app is on my iPhone. So the Galaxy hops, we got those hops, and you said this is the Mosaic.
That's Mosaic. Yeah, it's
You said this is the Australian hop.
No, Galaxy's I know Australia. Mosaic's an American hop. But I mean, you see, like I don't know if you ever heard Nelson Sauvins, another big hop. That's a New Zealand hop. New Zealand hops are kind of the new ones that are just hitting the market now.
That was the first one we had.
Yeah, the
Okay.
one. Yep.
So what outside of the homebrew, like what's your favorite craft, or I don't know if you'd like to call that out, but outside of the homebrew, what craft beers or larger craft beers do you enjoy?
I mean, locally, I really like the stuff from Roundabout.
Okay.
They're doing some good stuff. Brew Gentlemen, I like their stuff a lot. In the great beer scheme, I've always been a Bell's fan. Like
Okay.
the Bell's Two Hearted Ale, love that beer.
Just had one the other day. I will agree with that.
I like Oscar Blues. You know, they do the Dale's Pale Ale and all those canned stuff.
I've had Dell's, not Oscar Blues. I'll look out for that because I'm still learning. So I like talking to guys. I'm still
man,
learning.
they
yeah.
make great fucking beer in a can.
Yeah, that was their thing. They were the first can brewery that was doing canning on a large scale.
Yeah,
and
Buzzy
now,
put me D with them.
Yeah,
Pause. But so as a home brewer, do you find that people separate themselves from the more commercialized brews that are still craft and just like dive deep into the home brewing because there's more, I guess, variety with the home brewer, more freedom of flavor?
I would say, yeah, you probably.
Freedom of flavor.
I mean,
Trub. Freedom of flavor.
Telling you, man, I got the gift here.
they're going crazy, dude. But yeah, it's I think for most home brewers, you're really looking at there's still some old favorites, but a lot of time you're trying to find the new thing, the new flavor. Just you can make it yourself. That's what's amazing about it. But it's I mean, there's still like breweries that have been good for 30 years and they're just not going to stop being good because they're just make really good products. So that's the thing is I try to still support the breweries that have been out there doing it forever because you don't want to just always be buying the new brewery stuff because you need to have those bells. Like if you want to go to an airport somewhere, you want to have a good beer on tap at an airport.
Does it get difficult when you go out because you're used to making your own and like I've got a taste for this, so I'm gonna make this, and then you go out because it's like that with me and Hennessy. Like I like Hennessy, but not every place has Hennessy, so then it's like I got to go to the backup, which is generally Crown. Which again, I don't understand. If you carry Crown, you might as well carry Hennessy. But whatever.
I think. I like the fact that most places now at least have one, like craft, one decent, and like Bell's is a go-to. Like, I mean, like it's, because for a while, like you just go, it was just straight shit. Blue Moon was like,
that's the craft option.
I like Blue Moon though.
I know.
I'm still in my Blue Moon phase.
It's not a terrible beer. Like it's a nice introductory to like a tasteful beer or whatever. Like, but. You move on.
I guess when I started drinking Blue Moon, I wasn't drinking craft. It was just like a beer that had an orange slice in it. And I was like, oh, they do this.
That's the first time you realize that beer can have like good flavor. Like you can enjoy it and not just fucking chug it to get drunk. Like that's what you do with Budweiser. Like and nobody's like, oh man, Budweiser. Like,
I love it.
Oh man, those mountains are so blue. It's delicious.
It's good.
I guess they do only advertise based on like new tricks. Nothing about the taste of the flavor.
Man, you wouldn't have to spend so much.
Tells you it's cold.
Stop spending so much fucking money on your cans. Put more into the fucking process, man.
Now you think about it, it is fucking like the can turns blue when it's cold. Motherfucker, when it's been in the fridge for 2 hours, I know it's cold. Unless my fridge is broken, and if I need it cold faster, I'm gonna put that shit in the freezer.
Yeah, like we've mastered cold beer. Like
we've mastered hot and cold. We need good and bad.
Need to tell me it's cold, nigga. Like no, it's terrible. But I mean, a lot of people. I mean, some people just aren't into like beer. They just don't. Like, they drink it. They want to drive afterward. You could pound a case of Coors and go home. You know what I mean, and drive safely.
Another conversation from last night because we were talking to a friend of ours, Shannon from Cake, and she was saying how she wasn't like super into craft. And like you become a champion of craft beer now. Once you get into the culture, like somebody tells you they don't like me, I didn't know shit about craft when we started, and now like somebody saying they don't like craft, I'm like, hold on, fam, let me talk to you because what you're saying, you do not know what you're saying. Like you don't know what you're missing out on. Like it's a lot of good flavors out here that get you fucked up on one or two. One or two cans, you might be alright.
And that's the sell because a lot of people think craft means like hop, like means crazy. IBUs and like, hop heads, shit like that. And they've had like one and they're like, oh, that's craft beer. Like, they don't know that like there's a beer for every fucking palate. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of beer that don't even taste like fucking beer. You know what I mean? Like,
that's kind of what I hope actually comes back is that like, it was just IPA crazy for all. You go to a bar and it'd be 12 IPAs on draft. So there's so many different other beers that you can get. Porters, English bitters, you got anything.
And they've even got like great pilsners out there. Like, and I'm not a big pilsner fan, but like there's some that are like Killer Pills from Voodoo. I mean, like I'm a fan of that. Even some lagers. Like I tend to stay away from pilsners and lagers.
Well, Pilsner has that connotation of that commercialized cookout beer.
It's hard to do a lot with a like I don't know. Like I've just the pilsners that they all kind of like with the Killer Pills. It tastes a bit more I don't know like malty or hoppy or whatever. Like, but outside of that, they're usually kind of like meh.
It's I mean the Pilsner is just kind of like that style, Budweiser. Every beer for forever was a Pilsner, and then you can make a really good Pilsner if you add more malt, add some more hops into it. But I mean, you can make it just as bland as you want to. That's just sort of the the universal beer style that was beer before craft kind of became a thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're looking to get into craft beer, I don't know why you're listening to this and you're not into craft beer, but if for some reason.
Because we're comedians too, Dave.
Yeah, if you came in for the laughs, like, go get you a craft beer, man. Like, there's, 90 episodes, man? There's enough. We've drank enough beer. You can go through any of them.
I'm funnier with craft.
For sure.
Comedy and craft, man, they pair well together.
So let's get on this yak.
We're going to the cognac.
Anytime
beer.
I know yak is in the building, I get excited.
Yeah.
So we're going to start off with.
You have several yaks?
Well, I have two versions of it here.
What?
We were surprised you could make one.
I don't want to toot my own horn too much. It's the same.
You tooted your own with two cognac beers.
It's the same beer. One actually has been aged on wood and cognac. The other one is just the base beer that I tried to make like a cognac style beer.
Hey, listen, I just feel like once I sip this beer, I'm gonna feel like Nas in the Hennessy commercials.
This is your
swag.
genesis. Like from the beginning, like you started the podcast with Henny. It was I brought the brew, you brought the Henny.
Yeah.
Episode 90.
This is a culmination.
Episode 90, we bring the brew and the Henny together. Finally.
And I now know about Guinness.
All in one glass.
Yeah. So this is
all in one glass.
So I'm gonna have to
not to put any pressure on it.
No.
But 90 episodes.
So the style of beer that we're looking at here, this is an English style old ale.
An English style.
Which is it's similar to a barley wine, but it's just a little more malty. And I kind of overemphasize the chocolate malts on this one to give it the sort of cognac fruitiness. And I fermented on the warm end, so you're getting a lot of the fruit just from the yeast. So I'm interested to see how well this replicates cognac just on a
very
base
good head to it. Pause. This beer has a good head on its shoulders.
Oh, it smells amazing.
I like the color. The smell is nice.
It's definitely got a Henny color.
It's definitely got that Henny color.
It's still a bit young. I think this is brewed about 4 weeks ago.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It probably could use some time in the bottle, but
I can drink this.
Oh, yeah.
Smooth.
Yeah. That gives because when Cake, they made that Henny ice cream.
Yes.
Like, it takes the elements of Henny and kind of like softens it a little bit so that like it hits your palate like a little. The same thing with like good whiskey. Like when you put whiskey on the rocks or whatever, it gives you a little, instead of hitting all at once.
Yeah, because Henny got a little bite to it.
Yeah, you got a little bite of it. So it takes a little bit of that bite away. It gives you like, it spreads the flavor out, so you get a appreciation of all that goes into that, like the complexity.
Oh yeah. So,
and it's very smooth.
So I was trying to get some like the flavors I was trying to bring out were like obviously the chocolate, but then like the fig sort of dark fruit character. And it's very lightly hopped, but you still get a little bit of that kind of lemony.
Well, with a cognac beer, you don't. I mean, you wouldn't put a lot of hops in that, would you?
No, very lightly hopped, just enough to kind of balance out
that'd be
the
too much
malts.
contrast.
Yeah.
But So
wouldn't want it to be hoppy. I really enjoy this.
So
what's the ABV on this?
This one comes in about 8.5.
It does not taste like an 8.5.
Well, it would have had to be strong, baby.
It does not
it's
taste
yak,
like an 8.5,
man.
man. Like 8 Buzzy. Like, you ain't.
So we
that it feels like
cognac.
It feels like a 6.5. Like,
and that's
but you know what? I burped it up a little bit, and it was hot. That's but it doesn't have an 8.5.
Yeah, it's still young. I mean, I'm hoping to put some bottles away for about a year and reopen them then. And just
you know what?
Come
back
back
to the
that's what I say. Yeah, we'll set
and
up a
then
time.
we'll have a
You
year.
won't find two individuals more excited to drink a cognac beer.
What would that be? Episode 180. I'll be back.
Yeah, let's do that again. Oh man, this is exciting. This is the culmination, man.
This is why we do this. This is why I started this, to get a cognac beer.
Well, I'm glad I could bring it to
I
fruition.
figured if I hid the cognac in beer, they'd have it in all the bars.
You know what you were looking for, that next wave? That's the next wave, the cognac beer. If you're listening out
you
there.
heard it here, cognac beer.
You heard it here. Episode 90 of Drinking Partners, and we got T.R.U.B and Billy Oates in the building. We just started a new wave. It's cognac beer.
You could sell cognac beer anywhere.
Anywhere.
You could put this in a bar in Homewood, and they would drink it just because it said cognac.
That might be what we need
Yes.
to bring motherfuckers into the crab. Yo, I got this cognac.
I got this yak beer.
I got the yak.
It's the
beer.
bridge
We found it
between the two
beer.
cultures.
We're gonna listen to this episode 10 years from now. Like, yeah, we started that. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Seriously, man.
Yo.
Like it'll be like the it's Tuesday, but I had a rough day. I don't want to drink straight yak. I just want a beer, but I want to feel like I'm drinking yak.
Yeah.
Boom.
There,
I
man.
drink a fucking cognac beer at 5:30 every day of the week. I don't care.
So
That's
let's,
the wave.
So let's move on to the. This is the same beer. This one has actually been sitting on some French oak spirals, and I soaked that French oak in the cognac. So this is kind of what the.
So you added the oak barrel, and you said you.
Yeah,
spice?
I took they make for homebrewers or oak spirals, and it's just you can add them right into a keg of beer, and you can let it sit there for as long. You don't have to have a barrel to oak age something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I can.
We should have talked about
so like
some
it's
of
like
the
a
hacks.
piece of wood that you like drop in,
Yeah.
Yep.
and then let it like leach like that. That's dope. I didn't,
Well, you know
that's
what? We
smart as
never
shit.
asked about the homebrew hacks because you got to have some hacks.
You gotta, yeah,
so you don't have, so
because
you
that's
can make
expensive as shit.
Yeah.
Like, because when you sit, like when I mentioned it, you were like, oh yeah, we can like. The age or whatever barrel, and I was like, that sounds because those barrels are expensive as
Yeah, I mean,
fuck.
there's-
We still have the rapid fire.
A lot of,
we can get some of those hacks out.
A lot of homebrewers, like there's guys that'll have small barrels, like the Wiggle sells their 15-gallon barrels, but the oak chips or the spirals are really nice if you don't want to have a barrel and you want to do wood aging. And it
I never thought it made sense. I
It
mean,
makes
they
total
do
sense, and we never thought of it.
Yeah.
so
Chips.
this is going to be the beer that I'll let sit. I'm going to bottle some of these off, and I'll save a few for you guys to revisit a year from now, or maybe
Nice,
maybe
man.
sooner if you need to get your fix. But
Well, we'll
I'm floating over here.
we'll do it again for Brew for the Cure, man.
Yeah,
this could be a thing.
annual tradition.
What
man.
you
Yeah,
might
it
have
could be a
cured
thing.
is bad beer in the hood.
I hope
Truth,
so.
man.
You might have
This-
brought a beer to the hood.
You have bridged the gap from.
So if you start selling beer, do you have to quit T.R.U.B? Do you have to resign?
No, you could probably say a member of the. We've had guys from the club that have gone on to start their own breweries.
Okay.
I know one of our guys in our club is starting Helicon out in Oakdale. And
Oh yeah,
Chris
Helicon.
Plant,
Yeah.
obviously Andy down to Hitchhiker. He's brewing down there.
Hitchhiker,
So
yeah. Shout out to
we've had
Hitchhiker.
a lot of guys that moved on
Nice.
into the real professional realm. But
Yeah, they had a sour. It was for their 2-year anniversary. So
yeah.
they were down at Beers of the Berg. That's when we were. Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
hibiscus. Yeah. The sour flower.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. That's when we got completely shit faced. We actually bumped into you down there.
I did, yeah. I saw you guys down there. Yeah, that was a good
Did
time.
I have my beer bottle on at that time?
You did, I believe, yeah.
Oh, I was fucked up. I don't remember this at all.
yeah.
I remember him being in the beer bottle. I remember we did a drop after we went through the thing, which
Yeah.
we probably should have done before. Because afterward, I don't know, maybe we just looked more like we were having more fun doing it afterward.
I don't even know, man. I still
I
got to
don't
see.
even remember what that looks
Yeah,
like.
it was. We got pretty shit faced.
Well, you're walking around drinking beer.
It's hard not
Yeah,
to.
it's tough because we had this whole plan. Like, we're gonna interview like 40 fucking brewers. We're gonna do 5 minutes apiece or whatever. Man, you get the 3 of the motherfuckers, and shit starts to hit you, and you forget. You just start talking to niggas. Like,
Yeah, we did. We ended up in like a random powwow in the middle of the Beers of the Berg with some random folks. Dave was dressed up.
and people started coming in, like trying to jump in. Like, you know how okay, I was like, they were like trying to jump in and like photo bombs. Like, we're not on camera right now, B. Like, this, nobody's watching. This ain't live. Like,
Nick was carrying a camera, but then Nick started drinking. So it's like I don't know, and then we're 2 black dudes in the middle of this beer fest. So we already still got one has on a bottle. I have on a sailor hat. Like,
Something is not
everybody's
right.
just looking like, what the fuck are they doing?
Shout out the North Country, man, because it's crazy because we actually were in the back or whatever, and like, I came in without smoking outside. I came in, they were like, Dave, you want to put on this beer bottle? I was like, man, fuck y'all, I ain't doing that shit.
And
So
I
then,
bet
like-
Buzzy,
and then,
I
like-
bet Buzzy, I was like, before we leave, he's gonna put that on. Did I not say that to you, Buzzy?
I thought it
We
was like
were
5
all
minutes
in
of, like,
agreement.
I don't know. Let me.
Just planted the seed.
I didn't even know it was a setup. Like, yeah, I mean, they told me afterwards, but like, I didn't even know. I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I threw it on or whatever. I didn't know whose it was. I didn't know where it came. But at North Country, it was a North Country bar.
When I walked in the green room, I was like, Dave's going to put that on. And they were like, yeah, I think he's going to put that on. And then we asked him, he was like, no, like, you going to put that on. And then he came back, he was like, I mean, I'll put it on. And it was like, it wasn't like we asked him again. Yeah. He just came back, he was like, you know what, I mean, it ain't that bad, I'll put it on. It's like, yeah. He's gonna put that shit.
I don't know. I mean, I love my costumes, man.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. Shout out to Beers of the Bird. Shout out to North Country.
Yeah, because you guys can be down at the
get into some rapid fire questions
True,
here at the end. I want to find out about. So, what's the best homebrew hack? You talked about the oak thing that you dropped in, and I can taste it on the finish. Pause. That sounded so flagrant, but. Like, what are some of the what's the best, I guess, hack, or what's the most useful hack that you have that allows you to get the flavors that you want, but do it on a smaller scale at home without the cost?
That's a tough question, honestly, because it's a lot of the stuff now. Probably maybe 10 years ago, guys were making all their own equipment because just stuff wasn't out there. There are so many homebrew companies now that making equipment that if you want something, someone's making it. I think at this point, but I mean, back in the day, it's trying to make a fermenter out of, like I still ferment in a 15-gallon plastic blue barrel that the guys use for collecting rainwater off their roofs. I mean, that's basically what it is. Whatever you can find that can hold liquid for a week or so at a time, you can ferment in that. Yeah, the hacks are sort of tough. A lot of it's just finding ways to fit it in your house. Find a way to fit a chest freezer in your living room somewhere. That's a hack.
Without your woman being mad.
I was gonna say,
It's don't match the couch.
That's a wife hack. Like you could get away with anything,
My
as
mom
long
has
as wifey's cool with it.
My mom has one of the coolest life hacks. It's like a globe, but it holds liquor bottles. So it's both decorative and functional. That's like something that dudes have to find to appease their women. Like something like I got to put this liquor somewhere that I can get to easily, but I need to match the feng shui that you're trying to put together in this living room. I got this freezer in here, but it's made of oak wood, so it doubles as a side table.
Yeah, you just need to like put something around it so it looks like it fits in the room. It's still open it up and jump.
I put a box. So apparently we're shitting wrong, all right? And they have these squatty potties.
Oh, yeah.
Because apparently the way you're sitting doesn't loosen your bowels up right or whatever. So, like, they got these squatty potties. And I wasn't buying a squatty potty, so I just, like, found a box and put my feet up. And it was a pleasant experience.
Change your life? That's what I've heard.
Yeah,
Change your life.
You got an ottoman in your bathroom?
It was weird. Like, I'm not sure if, like I don't know. Like I don't know if I'm like really buying into it yet. Like it was cool, but it was just super weird having like shitting with my knees and my chest. Like that's not it's not a natural feeling thing. It's never, you know what I mean? So like
why are we talking about your bowels?
we're talking about life hacks. That's a life hack. I used the box instead of a squatty potty. I mean, same thing. But I'm not sure if I'm a fan of it yet. I'm gonna try it a couple of times. I don't know.
If you're listening, give us your thoughts on squatty potties.
Yeah, if you're a squatty pottier, give us your experience. Yeah, squatter potter.
So as a vet, do you look at like new brewers and be like, yo, y'all got it easy?
Sort of in a way, yeah. Just with how much equipment and ingredients now are readily available. Like when I first started there was one homebrew store in the city, and it closed at 7:00. So if you didn't get there right when you got off work, you weren't getting ingredients for that weekend. It just you can order online now. Every place is 2-day shipping to Pittsburgh. It's amazing. Wow. Yeah, so it's the market for homebrewing is just it's crazy. From what it started as. Yeah.
What is one of your personal favorite beers?
My personal, I come back to Bell's Two Hearted Ale a lot. I love that beer. I think it just fits in a lot of situations. You can drink it anytime.
It is.
I like Oscar Blues, Dale's Pale Ale, one of my favorites. I still really like a lot of the Dogfish Head stuff. They do a beer called Burton Batten. It's like
Oh my god, yeah, I had that. That
it's
shit is
amazing. Yeah.
I mean, it's like a party in your mouth, man. Like there's just so much shit going on. Like friends went out to the brewery and like brought a like a 6-pack of some of the bottles. Like I got 2 bottles. And it's a great beer. You can age it. I didn't get a chance to age it because I'm thirsty.
Too much of a drunk.
Yeah.
That's my problem. Yeah, I can't age anything.
You got to get rid of the evidence. We discussed that earlier.
Yeah, you guys hide beers from yourself sometimes.
I actually had a Dogfish 120 down on the podcast with the grown ups.
Oh yeah, you were telling me.
He had a Dogfish 120 and it was aged for like 3 years.
Oh, wow.
And it's funny the way he introduced it. He was like, like I haven't been drinking beers recently. So like I pulled out like this random mixed 6-pack that I had lying around. And when people say shit like that, you're like expecting to just have some old dusty bullshit. Like, and he pulls out like this Insanity that was like aged for like 2 years. And then he pulls out this Dogfish 120 and he's like, yeah, this is like, he's like, I think this is like a 2013 or what. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
let me tell you, I was waiting on Dave when we were going to the party. Dave literally, you ever watch a cartoon and they be high and they be floating with their knees? That's how Dave came to the yacht party. He was just floating. And I was like, what's up? He was like, Dogfish 120.
That's what's up.
Age 3 years.
Yeah, that shit that gets you there. That's like a 20%.
Yeah.
Doug Durda, he was telling us about that was the beer that he had chugged, and they went viral or whatever.
And like,
people were pissed at him.
Yeah, he was pissed at getting hate mail and shit like that. So so the listeners, I poured it into a cup about shot at a time.
His pinky was up.
It was pinky was up, and I sipped it slowly throughout the cast. Like that shit was amazing, man. Like,
yeah, it changes. Like after 3 years, I'm sure I haven't had one that old, but I know even after a year, the hops are sort of not there anymore.
Yeah,
it's a lot of malt.
Yeah, it was very malty and like it just. It was like dessert almost. Like it was it was an experience, man. Like I don't know.
Do you remember the first craft brew you ever had?
First craft. Probably the first beer I had that I liked was Yingling. I honestly, that's probably the first beer I had that I liked. It's not craft, I would say, but at the time,
shout out to Yingling, man. Like even like Yingling, I fucks with like.
It has this novelty factor about it.
Yeah,
where it is always $2.50.
Yeah. And like it's not a
whatever
bad,
vessel it comes in, bottle, pitcher, it's always $2.50.
Yeah, it's $2.50. It's not a bad beer. Like honestly, like if there's nothing else there, I'm happy to see a Yingling at least. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like granted, it's not what my go-to, but I'm not mad drinking a Yingling. Like
no,
it tastes like Pittsburgh. Pause. Like it really does. I taste it and think Yenzer, but I drink it. I drink it, especially like going to open mics and stuff. It's the perfect open mic beer. It's not going to get you fucked up. It's $2.50. You'll probably have 4. Spend $10. Tip the waiter, the waitress $4. You get to go.
It's a nice like. I mean, it doesn't get you too fucked up, but it'll get you there. I mean, it gets you a nice like.
I don't go anywhere on the England. I've had beers that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're drinking craft and Hennessy all the time. We're drinking craft Hennessy now.
You're drinking craft Hennessy.
We're drinking craft Hennessy. Like Yingling's not gonna affect me at all. I could be on a treadmill with Yingling in a squirt bottle.
It's been a while since I've had a few, so that might be right. Because it's like I was surprised. It's only like a 4.3 or 4.7 something like. Really, so it's actually pretty light.
But that's what those larger beers, I guess, they go for. Commercialized, they kind of want you to be able to.
The standard is usually around like 5. You know what I mean? Like 5.1 or something like that. I remember I had Molson Ice for the first time. I think that's like a 6, and I was like, oh, we're fucking partying, it's crazy.
On the Molson
Ice. Like I was like, oh, you don't want to drink a lot of them, dude. Them is like 6.9. Like
it's funny that 1% just changes the whole perception of the beer.
It's like now 6 is like a session. You know what I mean? Like that's a session ale for me. I was actually down at a Crooked Current over in Rhode Island. And she was like, she had this beer, and she was like, yeah, it's a session. I was like, what's the ABV on it? She's like, like a 6.7, 6.9. I was like, that's not typically what you consider. She's like, yeah, well, it's a session for craft drinkers. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you amount your shit, like that's usually what gets you through. So, shout out to them.
Yeah. Back to craft brews, and probably Erie Railbender. I told you that's the first one I tried to clone. That was probably one of the first ones I had. I would say probably who like Trogs might have been one of the first craft breweries I had
Okay, shout out to
beers
Trogs.
Shout out
from.
to
Trogs
Trogs,
making some
man.
good stuff.
Yeah,
local,
there's
so,
a
yeah.
Mad Elves.
Yeah.
He actually,
Yeah.
he pulled out a Mad Elf last night too.
Oh,
it was
man.
it was aged like 5 years. I should have tried that or whatever. I just like with that. For me, Mad Elf is like a once a year beer. Like, you know what I mean? It's very well done, but like you don't want to drink that more than, you know what I mean? Like, it's, I don't know, some people do. Some people love it, like, you know, but I like Christmas time,
It
it's like
fits better, yeah. I don't
yeah,
know
but
why.
it's a same thing with Christmas, and that's why, like, even with pumpkin beers, I feel a certain way about pumpkin beer because you're releasing them earlier and earlier or whatever, and it's like you're taking away from what this is. This is a time period. This is Oktoberfest. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is all right. This is you bring it in fall. It's fucking late July. Why you got like pumpkin beers on the shelves, man?
I agree, man. It's they ruined that whole fad by bringing them out way too early.
Yeah, I can't even. We were talking to one of the brewers, and they were like, "Yeah, it's not even like pumpkin. Like, it's some other shit because there's no pumpkins around. Like, what are you putting in this shit?
Yeah,
you know?
it's just
like,
spices at that point.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's bullshit. So, you know, fuck you guys that are dropping it late July.
I knew it was coming.
It's too early for that shit.
Knew it was
Like, it
coming.
just is what it, like, yo, like, man, you know what? I can get late, you know, August, maybe, you know what I mean? But, like, really, I don't really want to start drinking pumpkins until about September. Like, that's, you know,
I don't really
mid-September.
drink a lot of pumpkin beers.
yeah, there's.
I've tried to go get like a thing of pumpkin beers, and it's just like, I don't know. It's like weird. I'm not gonna drink a bunch of pumpkin beers one night, and then I'm not gonna drink pumpkin beers over a set of days.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
just like I gotta be out and just be like, let me get a pumpkin,
Yeah.
It's like a
real
novelty.
quick.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I can't.
yeah. I try to limit mine like once a week through like October. So like every year I'll have about 4, maybe 5 pumpkin beers, and I'll try different, you know, new ones, different ones or whatever. And like, because there's some of them that are like more like pumpkin pie and more sweet and more like heavy, and some are more like spicy. I mean, all that. So like, there's a variety. There's enough of a variety, you know, once a week. But like you said, I'm not drinking a 6-pack of like pumpkin beer.
I feel like for me, the weather's got to be somewhat cooler for me to even enjoy it. I don't know why. It's too savory to be even drinking out like that.
It's a whole mindset. Like I said, that's what like with the Mad Elf was like. It's just not right. Like December, I'm on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, it
Snow on
warms
the
you up.
ground.
It warms you up.
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Gotta be
Like,
layered up.
yeah,
Have a sweater on.
got a scarf. Like that's a scarf.
Anybody
beer.
in the room got on flip flops. I'm not drinking Mad Elf. Go fucking Mad Elf and my man's toes is out. That shit don't work that way.
Truth. All right, so Brewing Up a Cure. Give us the rundown on that again.
Brewing Up a Cure this year, it'll be Saturday, October 15th, PPG Winter Garden downtown. We will have about 20 different homebrewers that are serving beers. Probably get 80 different homebrew beers you'll never try anywhere else in your life. We have local craft breweries there, Roundabout, and Hop Farm. We actually did 2 collaborative beers. We did a collaboration with Hop Farm and a collaboration beer with Roundabout. And they'll both be being served at our event and at their respective establishments.
Nice.
And they're donating some of the proceeds to Cystic Fibrosis, our token charity. So, it's going to be a great time. Tickets are on sale now, brewingupacure.com. Or you can check us out on Facebook, Twitter. We're on all those sort of media things. Yeah. So.
Where can they find you on Facebook and Twitter?
Facebook, Brewing Up a Cure. Or you can check our club site, T.R.U.B, T.R.U.B, Three Rivers Underground Brewers.
Right.
So.
Nice.
They let the people know where they can find us.
Oh, well, if you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod. And you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, and Google Play under Drinking Partners.
Hey, listen, we want to thank our guest, Bill Oates, for coming on, blessing us with several beers, but especially that yak.
To bridge the gap, man.
Bridging the gap, man.
Dude.
We bringing the craft to the hood, man.
That's the name. I was
Yak.
looking for a name for that beer. Bridge the Gap is the name of that beer now. Officially.
Bridge,
That's
Boom. We've become quite proficient in naming beers. We've become quite proficient in that. So,
True.
hey, but honestly, man, we thank you for coming out, kind of sharing your homebrew experience, sharing that brew with us. As always, my co-host, thank you for coming out. Spend the time, talk to me, getting fucked up together.
90
That's what we
episodes,
enjoy
man.
doing. That's 90 times that we've gotten fucked up together
90.
for the sake of being entertaining. And there's
We do
no
it for the
better
love.
reason to get fucked up
For the
than
love.
to be entertaining. You know the slogan, Drinking Partners is the crew, Epicast is the family, and we out of here.
Yo.